What's up, guys? Back on me is here. We got Smallville, Season 7, Episode 13, Hero. Okay, so this episode starts off with Kara and Jimmy at like a One Republic concert because Jimmy's trying to, get Kara to remember that they used to hang out all the time, and yeah. And then we see a person who turned out to be the return of one of my favorite characters, Pete Ross. Actually, no, yeah. So yeah, and Pete, he's been taking this kryptonite enhanced gum that gives him powers like Plastic Man. So he saves Kara. So yeah, so he saved Kara, and it's really cool to see Pete back, and yeah. So Lionel is talking about how if they keep Kara's truth from her for long, she'll keep going to Lex. So so that's when Pete shows up, and in the show's context, it's been 3 years since they last saw Pete, but in my math, it's been 4 years since they last saw Pete. So So yeah, so Pete, so the Kryptonite is like altering Pete's judgment, saying how Clark, saying he keeps saying how, and Clark's like, hey, now you got your. He shows Clark his abilities, and he's like, yeah, we got we got to reverse your abilities, and he's like, oh, Clark, when I finally got powers, now you don't want me, you want to reverse my powers. Mm. So yeah, so he's like, I have no problem telling the world my secret, and if you tell anyone, I'm gonna out your secret. So, so yeah, so yeah, uh, so yeah, so one day, Chloe's looking at the picture that Jimmy sent her of Clark saving Kara, of Pete saving Kara when Lex hacks her computer and takes a picture for himself. And she's like, Lex, you just hacked the Daily Planet computer and took a picture for yourself. And yeah. He's like, this is secret. This is boundaries. And he's like, and he's like, if you better mind your business, or you'll, or you'll be fired. How is the small little Inquisitor learn about this? How and Chloe just leaves. So, like, still being his buttholy self. So, yeah. So, Kara, she still wants to know, we see Lex, and he's talking to Kara, and she's like, and he's like, and he's still looking, and they're still looking for the, spaceship, not spaceship, the bracelet that she had. So, yeah, so one day Pete shows up at the Daily Planet, and yeah, I thought he was in Wichita with his mom, but I guess he said he'd pop by Smallville at some point. And yeah, in this episode, Pete kind of has like a grudge against Luther, still against Lionel because one Lionel took took his parents' cream corn factory and caused his parents divorce because of it. So I understand why he has still a thing against the Luthers. Pete does. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, and yeah. So Pete's hacking into small computers and like sees this and Pete goes to Chloe and he's like, hey, he's like, this like stole info from my computer, and so Pete tries to help Chloe by taking it back. What Jimmy's hearing all this, and hey, and Lex is like, hey, Pete, and he's like, yeah, I, I, Yeah, I, I should like yeah. So he's like, hey, if you don't tell, I won't tell Chloe, but if you help me, I won't tell Chloe about the meteor, about her meteor power, and 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 Jimmy's hearing all this, and he's like, we so so yeah, I want a bracelet. So Kara's bracelet. So Kara is like looking, and she's like, how how do you know about this? Like, it's like weird that you had this tattoo, but now it shows a picture of the tattoo that Lauren had on the cave wall, and she's like, how do you have? It's gone. And he's like, where did you get this? And he's like, Lex. And he's like, and she's like, if he's like, if you're trying to point out that Lex is lying to me, then why don't you just tell me the truth? And Lauren obviously doesn't tell her the truth, and that just pushes her farther into Lex's arm. So yes, I kind of have a problem that Lex and Clark and Lana, Clark mainly Clark is trying to like keep Kara away from Lex, but by not telling her about the truth, they're just pushing her back into his arm, pushing her into his arm. So yeah, so Pete steals the bracelet, and Clark fights him, and he's like, Clark fights him, and he's like, there's one person, it's Luther, and there's the same Lex and Lionel, there's the same person, and he puts kryptonite and on Clark and gets away. He's like, and he goes to fight Lex, but one of Lex's bodyguards knocks the the kryptonite gum out of him, which which means he's vulnerable and to being beat up. Which Lex beats him up, and Clark saves him, and yeah. So Pete's like, I want to see her before he left. So yeah. So yeah, and the episode ends with Clark looking at Kara's bracelet, and Kara saying, I don't trust Lex Clark and Lana anymore. I don't want, and I can't stay at the farm. So can I stay with you? Yeah. So this is, I don't want to blame Lex Clark and Lana for this, but is it? But yeah, and the whole reason, yeah, I can give you on why Pete left the show. I read this article about why Pete left the show. So the actor at the time, Samuel Jones III, Sam Jones III, he who plays Pete, he quit the show because his actor wasn't his character wasn't getting enough screen time. So I guess they asked him back. And yeah, again, Clark and Lana, they should just tell Carl the truth because they're trying to keep her. Yeah, yeah. So they're just trying, tell. They should just tell her the truth. So like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I'll see you next Smallville.